Hey, what's going on, guys? Before we get into the video here, I just want to make a quick announcement. The next month or so, videos may be spotty here and there. I'm not, going away from YouTube. I'm taking a small break just because, I'm expecting my first child in the next month or so. I want to spend time with the baby and whatnot. So, again, I'm going to try to upload when I can, but obviously, family is going to be coming first. So just want to let you guys know that. So if you guys don't see, a weekly update or whatnot, it's not that I'm, going away or disappearing from YouTube like, what a lot of people do where they just don't even say why. They just disappear for whatever reason. But I just want to let you guys know that. All right, so let's talk about today's topic and why you should quarantine all new fish that you get, whether it's from a hobbyist, whether it's from a local fish store, whether it's well caught. I'm going to give you guys 3 reasons why you should quarantine all new fish. I've been seeing a lot of posts on forums, Facebook, just basically online with a lot of new people asking, why is my fish dying, or why is my fish doing this? I just bought a bunch of brand new fish. I put it in this tank, and here's what's happening, and here's the symptoms of the fish, or all my tank got wiped out after I added this one fish. And granted, it seems like a lot of these people are newer to the hobby, and it just shows you the importance of quarantining and inspecting all your brand new fish, just because it might be completely healthy in the fish store, but when you get it at home, you don't know what's going to happen with that fish. All right, so reason number 1 is to allow the fish to be able to adjust to your parameters, food, and temperatures in a safe environment without any other fish or other inhabitants that can harass it. Either getting it shipped overnight, coming from a fish store, getting netted and whatnot. It causes a lot of stress on the fish that the immunity can drop, which causes stress and can cause or lead into other diseases. The second reason is treatments are a lot cheaper in a quarantine tank than your main display tank. So normally your main display tank will be a pretty big tank unless you're starting off small and your tank size is a nano or like a 10-gallon or something like that. Then you may not fall in this category, but still, pre-treating some of the common known things that fish catches is really key, because let's say you have a main display tank. Your main display tank is completely clean of whatever diseases, whatever parasites, and all of a sudden you buy one new fish and you put it in that tank, and now your whole tank can be possibly potentially infected with everything that you worked so hard for to keep the main display tank clean. And this really falls under the category of getting like wild caught fish. So with wild caught fish, they're in the wild, and I would say like 90 to 99% of all wild caught fish will have some sort of parasite that is inside them. And this is just due to them living in the wild, and there's no treatments in the wild. It's just that they'll carry it. And the best way to do this is through a deworm process, either through meds or feeding them some sort of food that contains that med in there, where it'll remove the parasites that are inside them. And moving on to the last one, number 3, diseases. We kind of covered it across the other 2, because any symptoms of stress, any brand new fish that I'll call will have some sort of disease. But disease is a real thing in brand new fish. So when you pick out your fish at a local pet store, you don't know if that fish, was just, in the Amazon River like 24 hours ago, and now they've been, flown over and placed in this local, pet store where, it's for sale now. A lot of the fishes at the local pet store will seem very healthy and be very healthy, but again, you don't know, because fish can be carriers of diseases where they're immune to certain things. But when you add it to a display tank, or you add it to your main tank, your other fish may not be immune to that. So let's say like you get a fish that's wild caught, it may be immune to certain things because it's been raised in the wild and it's really common there. But when you have other fish that weren't wild caught, you add them together, now you're basically mixing 2 different species of fish that were not immune to certain things, and basically each of them can catch the diseases that they were immune to. And the thing is, setting up a quarantine tank doesn't need to be anything fancy. It just needs to be either a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon for slightly larger fish, and all you need is a sponge filter and a heater if the fish requires like higher temperature or whatnot. and that's it. And all you're doing is you're just monitoring the fish for about a month to 6 weeks, depending on what you're trying to look for. And I recommend 6+ weeks, because some diseases don't really show symptoms, or the cycle of that disease doesn't really happen until a few weeks later. um, and you're just basically monitoring your fish, and feeding them normally, treating as needed, and sometimes preemptively treating the fish. That quarantine setup, if you bought everything brand new at the store, is probably under $50. It's not that much more expensive. I'm pretty sure you'll have parts like a heater or an extra air pump lying around, and all you need to do is just buy like a 10-gallon tank for $10 or something like that, and there you go. And that's your setup for a quarantine tank. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning, videos for the next couple months, maybe spotty. Not going away. I'm just going to be taking a small break to spend time with the family. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And like always, to next time, guys, peace.